Hello there, this is Nikolai, the manga boomer.
And I am Kai, the anime zoomer. And this is our podcast, Anime Zoomer.
And manga boomer.
Hello. In this episode, we will take a look at epic fights and some big confrontations. In this episode, we will analyze the battles and say how we liked it and other stuff that we explain if it's time for it.
But before we start, some yapping about organization. With the next episode, we will make a season 2 of the podcast. Because we have, in some aspects at least, hopefully improved. So with
Hmm.
season 1, it's better for newer people to get into our podcast because some of the early episodes were kinda meh,
Yeah.
retrospectively. The audio was from someone, a bit quiet. We had always the same thumbnail and picture in the background, and we were not comfortable yapping about our stuff. And I think
Hmm.
now we have a good split between who yaps the most. We are kinda close to 50-50.
Yeah. True.
Plus, in season 2, we can reuse topics. You will see it in the end when we talk about what will be in the next episode.
Hmm.
Now we can continue with your fight scenes.
Yes. Okay. The first topic is, of course, what are the best fights and confrontations? And I definitely have
I
one
think
big fight.
we need to do something else first.
Okay,
What
which one?
makes a fight good? And then we can say what's the best because of the stuff that makes it good.
I mean, a fight should be good animated or good drawn, of course. A fight should give you some emotions. You must feel hyped about the fight. Um, yes, that's it for me, I think. I mean, there's some other things, but those are the most important things that it
Stakes are
makes you
also
feel hyped.
important.
What?
Stakes.
Stakes?
There need to be something at stake. When you are losing a fight, you're losing something big, like your life, a
Ah,
friend,
yeah.
not the food. Steaks is also nice food, so
Yes. So, first, what are some really big fights over the time? And of course, I have one example of a great fight, which was Luffy versus Katakuri.
yes, in my opinion, the best One Piece fight.
Hmm.
Because it's good in
Because
terms of choreography and writing.
yes, and it also had some emotional weight because you can clearly see what a man Katakuri is. He wants to fight fairly. He doesn't want to fight unfair and stuff.
Plus, great fights are when you kinda sympathize with a villain or when you're unsure about who you want to win. Because
Mm.
when both fighters or both sides in the fight are sympathetic and you don't want to lose one, and you don't want that one side loses.
Yes, definitely. And it really looked like Luffy's gonna lose this battle
Is this
because, yeah,
is it also your favorite fight in One Piece, or do you have another one? Rapid fire.
um, I think it's definitely one of my favorites.
Nice.
I wouldn't say one is my favorite of One Piece. Yeah, but overall, a pretty big fight. So, do you have one other big fight?
But with because we're on One Piece, I want to talk about a problem with the One Piece fights, and one thing that's also important for fights. It's
Hmm.
pacing and the fact that the fight should be continuous and not split like One Piece. Because in One Piece you have a fight, and then you have 10 other scenes or things happening in the mega arcs. So you
Mm.
rarely see a continuous fight, which is like 10
Yeah,
minutes
yeah,
long. The scene is always split. That sucks.
true. Yeah. It does. But other than One Piece, give me some good fights.
I want to talk about a very emotional fight. Probably the
Mm,
most emotional fight for me. It is in Chainsaw Man, a snowball battle. Obviously, when we talk about fights, there will be spoilers when we talk about who wins the fight and what is the outcome of a fight.
mm,
Just saying. So I think Aki vs. Denji is probably the most emotional fight for me because there are high stakes. Both persons' lives are at stake, and you know that someone has to die while you
mm.
watch the fight. Plus, the fight is very well tied in into Aki's emotional backstory with his family and the house and the snowball fight that he had with his little brother.
Yes.
Plus, I in general like when you have a fight where the choreography is mirrored with a flashback. Another great example is from Naruto, Kakashi vs. Obito. Do you know the clip, or it's a pretty famous one?
Uh,
It's short.
I don't know. No.
You can watch it after the episode. It's one of the best fights anime in anime. It's so well choreographed. Even though you don't know the story, you will know what's going on. The art and storytelling is this good in this clip.
Oh, okay. Yes. If you talk about Chainsaw Man, then I would also say Katana versus Chainsaw Man. Katana Devil versus Chainsaw Man, which
Mm.
was also a great fight.
But there are at least a handful that are better.
Yes, but I think it was a good fight in action-wise. You had a lot of action.
There are still some better fights.
There are definitely, but it was a great fight.
It was okay, yes. The fight
I
like
mean
for
it.
me also the Katana Man as a character is kinda bland. I have a high
Yeah.
expectation for Chainsaw Man. The ceiling is very high.
Hmm. I see. But for me, I liked the animations from Studio Mappa. It was really good in the anime.
It was okay, yes. You saw the CGI at some points.
Yeah.
But because of the heads of a character and that they are not normal, have not normal human proportions, CGI is probably had to be used.
Mm.
Until we see the Reezy movie and are proven wrong.
Yes. Some other confrontations. Do you have some examples for confrontations?
In terms of confrontations, I want to talk about one topic. Because what makes a fight for you? And for me, I think a fight should be a battle where both sides are kinda evenly matched, or should be. So, like, when someone is flexing, for me, that's not a fight. Because when
Mm.
someone one hits his opponent, that's not a fight.
Yeah.
That's a flex. But it's still kind of a confrontation. That's why I want to put confrontation in the title, in the
Mm.
intro. One of the coolest flexes in anime is for me from Frieren versus Aura. You haven't watched it because there were no explosions and you skipped it because it was boring. But in this scene, Aura has a very powerful ability. She can wage her mana against the mana of the opponent, and whoever has more mana, magical energy, has to do what the winner says. But Frieren always suppresses her mana, so she looks weak on the outside. But it's actually a Giga Chat, and Aura fell for a trick. And
Mm.
Frieren won and
Mm.
said that she wrote something. She said something that every League player writes in all chat. Kill yourself. And Aura killed herself. Because Frieren was too powerful.
No way, she really killed herself.
Yes. That's the deal. That's the power. Plus, before that, in an episode before it was one of the best animated fight scenes with Fan vs. Blood Demon, but yeah, this was boring. Before that, there was a hype dragon fight, but yes, still boring show with no action and nothing happening. Yes, yes.
The roast.
Do you know any
Mm.
flexes, or what is your favorite flex?
Um, One flex that I really enjoyed was Rimuru putting out the lives of 1,000, no, 10,000 of soldiers who were attacking the village of Rimuru.
In season 2, right? Against the human
Yeah,
kingdom.
yes, where he became Demon Lord.
Yes, I remember the scene.
It was such a big flex.
Yes. There are also other favorite flexes or flexers in anime, like when Gojo is a good example against Jogo,
Mm,
or
true.
Escador, the best thing from Seven Deadly Sins. Otherwise, mid-show, unfortunately, season 3 was ass.
I get that too. That's why I don't want to watch it.
The first two seasons are really good.
Yeah, but then the third season,
Yeah,
yeah.
the writing also got bad.
Michael Jackson is also a big flexer. Musan Kibutsu.
No,
Kibutsuki.
Dracula, DRCL. That's Michael Jackson. I sent you the pictures.
Yeah, but yes, Musan is a big flexer, and that's why he lost in the end.
I guess.
Because villains that don't take the protagonist serious are always doomed to fall.
Hubris is the word that you're
Yes.
looking for.
Hmm. So what villain is also over or underestimating the protagonist? Do you know some examples?
Basically, every shonen villain.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
It's not that hard.
Yeah. Hmm. I mean, there are a lot. Yeah, true. Yes. Do you want to add anything, or should we go on to the next topic?
But villain is a good point. Because in a
Mm.
fight, you have either sides that are fighting against each other or competitors that fight against each other. So, what makes those competitors, like a villain and a protagonist, good in a fight?
Uh, Competitors is. What do you mean about competitors?
Well, you have two sides in a fight.
Yeah.
Those sides are the competitors who compete in the
Mm. Yeah.
fight.
Yeah. 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 Um. Yes. Of course, you have the protagonist who is always fighting for their own justice, who think they are at the right, and the antagonist is at their right. So it's a battle of their own justice, basically.
Yes, or when their goals are set up against one and another.
Hmm. Yes. Um. Yeah. Should we go on to the next topic?
Yes, do you have one or should I ask you another question?
You can question me, and then I will go on to the next topic.
Okay. Now we have a technical question for fights, which is related
Hmm.
to how the fighting is done and power systems. Do you like your fights more complex with a complex power system, a lot of rules, or a simple explosion fest? Or a third option is just a smooth hand to hand combat where you can see every movement into detail.
I think it varies from the show. Um, I mean, some shows are only just hand-to-hand combat with nothing special. Um, some some animes are very complicated and have some pretty weird power system behind.
Stando! Jojos!
Yeah. Um, but I enjoy every battle. If it's good, then I enjoy it. So basically all of them.
Maybe I'm
I
getting
wouldn't
old, but I'm. Oh, sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yes, I wouldn't pick one that I like the most because every one can be good of those three.
Maybe I'm getting kinda old, but I'm not anymore into the explosions style battle. Because everything is cluttered. On the manga page, you have this so much details, you can clearly see the movement, what's going on. In the anime, you get flashbang by a rainbow flashback, basically. Plus, when the fight is cut really quick and 30 different colors are on the screen, it's, mm.
Are you
But
talking about One Piece?
One Piece, solo leveling, the Baron fight was also a bit too quick and colorful for my taste.
I don't think so, but yeah, you can have your opinion, of course.
Yes. Plus, another problem is in One Piece is that the fights are not consistent because you have different animators and the adaptation is because of that is not consistent.
Mm,
Well, in the
yeah.
manga, Zoro and Sanji are kinda equally strong. Kinda. Zoro is obviously stronger.
Mm,
But if you watch the anime, Sanji was queen and Zoro is king. There are different worlds between those fights. Zoro is portrayed way stronger in the anime in
yeah.
his fight against King. While Sanji, yes, he has a flaming leg and kicks a dinosaur. While Zoro fights against a dragon fire god and basically jumps across the whole island.
True, true. He never skipped leg days.
Yes. Because of that,
Yeah.
consistency in a fight and in a power system is also important.
Mm.
What is your favorite power system?
Um. Hmm. There are a lot of power systems. You have stance, you have Nen, you have devil fruits, you have
Chakra.
breathing, yeah, chakra, breathing techniques.
That's the worst power system. Because all of the
Um,
explosions colors are fake. They're just
I think,
imagination.
yeah, I think stance are some of the greatest, is one of the greatest power systems because you have such a pretty wide variety on stands. They can do everything. Like, for example, you can turn your enemy into, I don't know, anything with the right stand.
Yes, stands are also the reason why I wanted to use confrontation for this episode as a subtitle. Because, for
Mm.
example, in part 6, there's a really cool stand. I think you don't know it, where Jolene fights against a person who can manipulate her memories, and because of it, she can just remember three things. And after that, her memories reset. So she needs to solve a challenge with creative thinking. Yes, in the end, she
Uh,
punches the stand user, but that's not a fight. It's more of a creative challenge to solve a confrontation.
mm.
The solution is kind of wild because in the end, she sees everything in binary code. So everything is set together from a number one and two. So she only sees two things, not three. And that's how she wins. It's kind of stupid and far fetched, but that's what we like JoJo's about.
Mm.
Another great power system is it's not used for fighting that much, but it's in Witch Hat Atelier, with runes and magic spells. I tend to like those because I'm a fantasy buff.
Domain expansion.
The main expansion is mid.
Rooms sounds like the main expansions.
Runes. Drawings.
Oh, okay.
A rune is like a sigil that you draw, and when you've drawn it, then a magic spell is activated.
Ah, okay.
We are not here. We are not having the OP fruit. Rune.
Yes, curse techniques is one of the masked power systems.
Yes, it's complex, but it doesn't use its complexity well.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah.
problem.
Yes.
Do you have anything else, or
Nope.
then we have now talked about the protagonist. How about the villain side or the monster side? Because monsters are also a cool thing to fight.
Hmm.
So, do you have any show where you really enjoy the monster design or like the enemies that the main characters are fighting? Be it villain or
Um,
monster.
I think Shanfro has some pretty cool monsters. Not like the generic things.
You mean the raid bosses or in general
Yeah,
bosses?
in general bosses. I think
Yes.
they look cool.
Yes. Plus, I like that you have special raid boss who have special lore and are some kind of challenge and a final challenge and have good build up.
Hmm. Like the EX quests that you have
Yes.
to take and then has to progress through the quest and then you get to the raid boss.
The secret unique quests.
Hmm.
For me, I have some shows who have clearly for me the best monster design.
You're
It's
talking about Valkyrie. What was it, the show called that you like?
Claymore. Claymore
Claymore.
and Jagad. The monster design in Claymore looks so slick because of the blackness, and it looks a bit like, do you know how's he called again? I think Asimov was his name. The guy who made also the inspiration for the alien design.
Asimov.
It's really old. Maybe I have the name wrong. But let's go on.
Yeah.
H.R. Geiger was the name, not Asimov. Asimov was robots.
Ah,
With Asimov was the three rules for robots from, how was the Will Smith movie again? I Robot, I
I
think.
Robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Asimov has written the rules for those robots.
Yes, power systems I had on my list too. But let's go on to emotionally fights. Um, where you have, for example, Thorfinn against Ashelat. It's very emotional every time. I mean, it's not a big fight. It's just a confrontation, in my opinion, because
Yeah,
Ashelat,
not evenly matched.
yeah, but it's very emotional
Yes.
because you have Thorfinn who wants to take revenge for his father.
Yes, that's true.
So it's very emotionally charged.
Yes, but it's also the same like in the other emotional fight I mentioned before with Aki and Denji, where you don't have anybody who wants to win. Because Escalade
Hmm.
is a sympathetic character. You don't want him to die. So it's kind of a conundrum. You want Thorfinn to get his revenge, and you want us to see Escalade more around.
Hmm. True. Um, some other emotionally charged fights. Oh. Would you say Cars versus Joseph would be an emotionally charged fight?
Ah, there are way better ones.
Like, for
You,
example?
your favorite Five on Chainsaw Man, for example, to get back to
I
this
mean,
subject.
versus, yeah, Reezy.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very emotionally on both sides. Yeah.
Plus, there's another
Uh,
topic connected towards with emotionally. It's fatality. Because when you have a fight in the end, both contestants, maybe or maybe not, don't live in the end.
mm,
And when a contestant dies, there are some great emotions.
yes. And one anime that does good at portraying regrets, sorrows, and stuff is Demon Slayer. Because whenever you see Tanjiro killing a demon, you get the sad backflash of the demon, and then der, how do you say, Reue?
The emotions. You feel a connection with the demon that he kills. The sorrow and
Yes,
the regret of a demon's life.
yeah, you can see that in the demon's tears,
Yes,
and it's emotionally and it is fatal for the demons.
it's
They
bad.
don't live anymore.
It's badly written, but
No,
you've inted. I was ready to
no.
give you a positive point for Demon Slayer, but you choose the wrong topic to talk about. Because Demon Slayer is actually some emotional character deaths. I thought you were mentioning that. For example, Rengoku. That was a good written emotional death and character scene.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that forgiveness bullcrap which is fake and makes no sense.
Why shouldn't it make no sense?
Because Tanjiro is a hypocrite then. Like he thinks, oh, I can forgive every demon, but when Rengoku dies, oh, I'm going to kill you. Oh, hypocritical bullshit.
It's character development.
It's not character, it's bad, it's boring.
No.
Plus, it's pointless. The backstory of a demon does not matter in the end. It's just there for emotions. It serves no purpose towards the plot. From the ones that I've seen, maybe it's better in the end. But in the first two seasons, there was no purpose for the plot in the backstories. For the first 1.5 seasons, let's say it like that. Because I haven't watched the entertainment arc.
Hmm. Yes. Other ones.
I think we should still linger a bit more about the death topic.
Hmm.
Because there's also the plot armor, which is
Yeah.
connected to stakes.
Hmm.
Because is a fight really that entertaining or suspenseful if you know that protagonist is win through plot armor? I don't know which series is famous for that. I don't know.
Hmm. I don't know.
It's Fairy Tail.
Of course, it's Fairy Tail.
I mean, most shonens have also plot armor, but it's the worst there.
Hmm.
Because you know that every guild member is winning in the end through some random ass pull.
Yeah.
I mean, there can be some good ass pulls. Gear 5 is a good ass pull.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah.
It's an ass pull. It comes out of nowhere. So that Oda can beat his villain that he makes made too overpowered.
Yeah.
I don't say it's bad, but still an ass pull.
Yeah, it is. But Fairy Tail as pearls are sometimes garbage.
Yes. The power of friendship.
Yeah, it is. Blood armor. You can definitely see it in a screaming character who always screams and is wielding his sword against enemies
Yes, another
with
badly written
magic.
character. Ah, sorry, I thought you meant Zenitsu, not Asta.
Yeah,
My
Asta.
bad. I mean, it's not
Asta,
that bad.
I mean, he does have some blood armor at some points.
Yes, but then you can say every shonen MC has plot armor.
Yeah, I mean,
Listen, hmm,
Tanjiro had it too in the entertainment district.
hmm. But an MC who has really not that much plot armor is actually Luffy. Because if you think about it, Luffy actually loses a lot or
Hmm.
gets imprisoned a lot, basically in every arc.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
true if you think about it.
Hmm. I mean, Wano, Impel Down,
Whole Cake, Alabasta, Little
yeah,
Garden, Loketown, Arlong
true.
Park, kinda as well, I think.
Hmm. Where he falls into the water.
Yes, his shadow gets imprisoned in Thriller Bark,
Hmm.
Amazon Lily.
True. True.
It's basically every arc.
Yeah.
I mean, in the beginning of Elban, they were imprisoned in whatever this was in the beginning with a fake sun god, if you count
Ah,
that as
you mean
well.
the playground for
Yes,
the one guy, Rodo.
yes, if you count that as an imprisonment.
I mean, you could count it. He imprisoned them in his playground to play with them. Let's talk about epic large-scale anime battles. And of course, you have to mention Marineford there, because
Yes,
it was a hyper cluster of pirates fighting there.
there's one thing I want to connect with epic large scale battles. It's
Mm.
build up. Because if
Yes.
you have a large battle, there should obviously be some build up. Why there are so many people fighting
Mm,
against one another. That's why Marineford is also great.
it is.
And still probably my favorite arc in One Piece.
I mean, it's a good arc, but Enies lobby clears, bro.
Good, he says. Uh,
Yeah.
Yes, but Ennis Lobby is also good because of the build up that it has in the arc beforehand in Water
Mm,
7.
yes.
So build up again, valid point and important.
Mm. And in Marineford, it was the imprisonment or execution of Ace, which then
Yeah.
led to a big scale battle between pirates and marines.
I mean, the build up was basically the whole series before because we met basically 50% of the characters that we've met before in the series. All of the warlords were there, some
Mm,
previous villains, the marines that we've met, the admirals,
yeah.
Garb, Kobe, whatsoever. All were there and present.
Mm. But it was a brilliant executed battle.
Yes, a war.
Mm.
But in terms of war, I think wars in anime and manga are most of the time bad, fortunately. Because for me at least, they are too bloated and the story comes to a halt. I like Marineford because it's concise and not that long.
Mm.
But if we say that Wano is kind of a war in Onigashima, which it is from the scale, then it's not good. It's too long, too many pointless plots,
Yeah,
too many filler fights.
true.
The war arc in Fairy Tail in the end is ass. The war arc in Naruto is ass. The final kind of arc in My Hero, you know how the fans think about the ending.
Mm.
Not that great.
You have basically the Culling Game arcs, which is basically also a war game.
Mm. Yes, a bit. It has at least the same problems that it's just fight, 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 no plot
Mm,
or progression.
yes,
Because in the culling games, there are just 10 randos spawning, and we have those fights for 5
true.
volumes, which is
Yeah,
boring.
yeah.
Like, what was the point of kinda Elvis 80 rock band looking
You
guy?
mean the gambling guy?
Well, no, I don't think he was gambling. The guy was fighting against Utah. Yes, he had a cannon for hairs, basically.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Or the guy with the supermarket receipts who was fighting against Maggie. What was the point of that, guys?
True. I don't remember this guy even.
Or in One Piece in Onigashima, or in general in Shonen. We're just some random filler character spawns who needs to fight our MCs.
Yeah.
Like, how was Kaido's underling group named again?
Uh,
The dinosaurs who fought against Frankie,
yeah, I
Jinbei.
know, I know. I don't even
Those,
remember.
yes, those guys were whack.
Yes.
I mean, Ulti and Page 1 were kind of cool, but the rest of them was boring filler character.
Hmm. And I mean, Ulti got clapped by Luffy.
Mm.
Uh,
Those are
I
also a fight. Oh, sorry.
I saw
Go on.
some memes about Ulti and Luffy,
Ah, yeah.
especially Ulti. Yeah, go on.
The problem with those characters is, well, they are just fights for the sake of fights. Those are also bad. A fight
Hmm.
should always have a reasoning, progress a plot, or progress a character. Talking about war arcs, also there's another thing which is similar to war arcs, but is at times more enjoyable. It's tournament arcs.
Hmm.
Also, a plot is on a hold, and we have fights for the sake of fights, and mostly no progression.
Yes.
Do you like those, or
Um, I think they are okay. I think you had a good tournament with in Dressrosa where Luffy
this
met.
was shit?
It was only to that Luffy can meet Sabo again, and Sabo can get the fire fruit from Ace.
Yes, but the tournament itself was ass.
Yeah, but the important points were good portrayed.
There's another good tournament which you actually liked. It's from a show that we've mentioned before in a bad light.
The fairy tale.
Yes, correct. That's a good tournament.
Hmm. Yes. And I'm still not completely finished with it. I mean,
I
I'm through the battling, but now I'm at Eclipse, and I think it counts to Magic Tournament arc, right?
yes. At least the Magic Tournament arc is the build up towards the eclipse.
Yeah.
So those are connected.
Hmm.
Next
Um.
topic, or
Yes, we can go on.
the next topic, I want to talk a bit about creativity in battles.
That's also
Is
my next point that I had.
nice. It can either be with characters fighting creatively, or a creative choreography or power system.
Hmm.
Like, I want to talk about Arjun, for example. In Arjun, the Arjuns are undying people who always regenerate their limbs and can't be killed. So, to stop those people, the government is using tranquilizer guns to put them to sleep. And our main villain fights creatively against those. Like, for example, when he is getting hit in the arm, he cuts off his arm. Or when he's hit in the head, he cuts his head off and they regrow the limbs. Or when he's
Ah.
wounded, he just cuts his arm off and he has a new arm. And he uses also his limbs effectively in combat to, for example, block something. There are some really creative panels in there with some great brutality because of it.
Hmm.
Plus, he's also a kind of MacGyver-ish guy and a gamer. For example, there at one point it's not a fight, but it's a really creative scene. That's what I used to want to use. highlight the character. He needs to infiltrate a skyscraper. And the skyscraper with security is top notch. He possibly can't in there. And he uses a trick. Cuts off his finger and put it in a box with chicken wings, which is getting delivered into the building. Then he jumps into a machine which shredders him completely. And then he regenerates at his finger because regeneration is starting at the largest body parts.
Hmm.
And that's how he infiltrated the building.
I see.
Creative writing.
Hmm.
And he uses his regenerative abilities to a certain extent with creativity in battle. Do you know any creative fighters or battles?
I would definitely say Joseph Joestar because he uses his brain during fights, and whenever he says what the enemy will say, the enemy loses, and it's a cool way to identify it. Actually, I like it.
Yes, he has one aspect of creativity because there are two. There's the analytical creativity side, like characters from Shikamaru from Naruto, who
Hmm.
analyze every move that his opponent does. But I think Joseph is a bit more spontaneous and good at improvisation as well.
Yes.
That's the other creativity aspect that I want to talk about.
Hmm.
Another great example for those improvisation is Sakamoto from Sakamoto Days,
Yeah.
where he
The,
just grabs whatever is there and fights with it. That's cool. I like this
hmm.
about the show.
True.
In general, improvisation is nice because you don't know what's going to happen and get always surprised.
Hmm. It's refreshing, definitely.
Yes,
If you don't have the always reoccurring fighting dialogue and
patterns.
stuff. Yeah, patterns.
Do you know any other scenes or characters or shows that are creative?
I would say Lelouch
Yes.
because
He's more of the analytical.
he is,
He-
he's basically playing chess with his opponents and his teammates.
Yes, that's what I also liked about Code Geass when I've watched it. His character and his brains and his smarts.
Hmm. We only talked about good anime fights. What about the bad ones? Do you have some bad ones?
I mean, you can talk about the anime side and I can talk about the manga side.
Hmm.
For the manga side, what is for me kind of bad or hard, it's when the panels are too cluttered and too much is going on. For example, Tokyo Ghoul. The Tokyo Ghoul art is really good, but it's really hard to follow what is happening in the fight. Because when you read a manga fight, it should be intuitive. Your eyes should be guided through pages. And if a fight is good and the choreography is good, even if a shit ton of things are going on, you're still reading seamlessly through the pages. A great example that I've read, I think yesterday or the day before, was Dandadan, the alien invasion
Hmm.
with the kaiju battle with the mecha
Yes.
and the spaceships after it. There was so much shit going on, but I never had problems following what was going on. It was always intuitive and clear what was going to happen and where on the panel.
Hmm.
And that's sometimes hard in Tokyo Ghoul fights to see what is happening and who is where and what is from who and so on.
Yeah. So for me, I have definitely Eren versus the Warhammer Titan, and yeah, the CGI was horrible at this fight, which took away the impact of the fight, and the fight was way too fast over. Like you couldn't see any like the Warhammer Titan has some some amazing abilities, but you couldn't see them because the fight was too fast over. And that's a really annoying part when a fight is way too quick over.
Or not everything is going to be is used.
Hmm.
There's a great example in Bleach. You know what Bankai is, right?
Yes.
And we never get to see Aizen's Bankai. Why? We actually never seen. It's like we are not seeing what Imu's devil fruit is, and Imu is just using Haki to clap everyone. But
Hmm.
it's confirmed that he or she has a devil fruit.
Yes.
This would suck.
Hmm. It would definitely.
But you also seen probably the worst CGI and the worst battle scenes with CGI. I showed you a clip. Do you remember?
Hmm.
XR, great show.
Yes.
The manga's actually good. I think I will read it. Maybe next month.
Ah, ja.
I like the manga. It's nice.
Yes. Do you have any other manga fights that are ass?
Not five per se, but if the art style is not good, or if there's not enough dynamic in the fight, not enough, you can see enough movement or enough stuff happening, or when there's a fell off. Another fight that was, for example, hard to me follow or was not pleasantly to look at in the manga was Luffy vs Kizaru. This looked ass.
Hmm.
So maybe the anime can fix it.
Yes, I hope so.
That's also a good point that we can talk about. Fixing fights in another media.
Hmm.
JJK, great example.
Yes.
Manga art, blech. Anime art, hello there. Nice to meet you.
Yes. Definitely, Jujutsu Kaisen needs some good animations.
That means
Or,
Chainsaw Man 2 because part 2 isn't. It's looking okay, but it's not looking as good as part 1.
yes, definitely. What do I have on my list? Okay. What do we hope for future anime battles or manga battles? Like, do you have some expectations for the future of battles?
Yes and no. The problem is that I can only speculate about battles that I want to see.
Mm,
If you talk about that, for example, in Chainsaw Man Part 2, maybe there's the Death Devil there. If you know the newest
yes.
chapter, then this could be a hype fight.
Mm,
I mean, I definitely want to see, for me at least, in the future when JoJo's Part 7 with physical versions coming out, because I hear that the art stands and everything is peak. So,
yes. I want to see Kaiju number 8 versus Kaiju number 9. Like the big fight that's currently going on. Definitely. Animated.
no spoilers,
Yes.
because I'm not there.
I know, I know. Dan had some nice battles in the latest chapters.
Alien Invasion I talked about before.
Hmm. I want to see this animated because it's basically a clusterfuck of enemies.
I think Marriage Toxin could also work really well animated because you have, on one hand, kind of wacky powers and characters, but still cool fights.
Hmm. Definitely. For example, the one woman who can talk to fucking hamsters.
And the general animal guys,
Yeah,
those are really wacky, right? Like JoJo's characters.
I mean the boss of the animal guys was okay,
Mm,
but this clan was ass overall.
yes. Another show that I want to see animated, which is coming rather soon, it's Togedanki.
Mm.
It's your typical classical shonen, but you have demons versus hunters, basically. But the demons, our main characters, are using blood abilities. So to see blood in its actual reddish color could be nice in an anime.
Mm.
Arthur versus Dragon will be the best anime fight if they animate it properly, which is coming out this year in terms of over top spectacle. This will be hype if it comes out in the next season.
Mm.
Well, in the next core, let's say it like that.
Yes, yes. Um, what do I have to? Uh, I want to see Infinity Castle, of course. I,
Yes.
it's basically a war between the upper moons and the Hashiras. So there are a lot of big fights, and I hope Ufotable can hold their production value.
Have you seen the newest Ufotable quote unquote anime?
No.
The baseball teaser, where they have
Uh,
a cooperation with MLB. So you have an
oh, yeah,
baseball
yeah,
anime clip.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen
This
it.
look this look cool.
Mm. I mean, I don't have any doubts that Ufotable can pull anything off. They have unlimited budget, and yeah.
If they only could animate a good show. Such.
Yes. What is coming in October? What was it? What was I seeing today on Instagram? Which anime gets?
Don't ask me.
Um, I think it was One Punch Man. Yeah, One
Yes,
Punch Man.
that's getting a first season.
Oh yeah,
Correct.
Windbreaker.
It's next season, yes.
Yes,
Next month.
and I hope it can keep up with the nice fights.
I mean, the next arc is a smallish war arc where it's a gang fight.
Ah,
So a
okay.
lot of fighting. I mean, you can watch a trailer, you will see that fighting is happening.
Mm.
The trailer came out, I think, also a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
Rather recent.
Mm.
Then should we go on with the next topic or do you have anything else?
No, you can go on.
The next thing I want to talk about is we have talked about flexes, where mostly our protagonist side flexes someone away and is way stronger. But I want to talk about the other side, where the antagonist side and villain side is way stronger than us, and where we have to fight for survival and basically scramble to be alive. And if we fight, for example, against some kind of cosmic being like Dracula in DRCL, who is way too strong and we don't know what he's going to do and what is happening, and we are scared about our lives. We are
Mm.
scared shitless. Do you have any other scenes where this is happening? Where you
Um,
feel scared for our protagonist and are scared about yourself because the enemy is too OP.
I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, I can't think of anything.
DSCL is peak, you see. It's really good.
Yeah, but I don't know what you're talking about.
I
I haven't watched it or
yes,
read it.
but the feeling when you have an enemy which is beyond our comprehension that you cannot understand.
I hadn't. I did not have this.
You are not scared for because of an enemy that you've seen in anime.
No, no.
Then you need to consume better stuff. And this point is ended rather quickly.
Yes, I don't know. I'm not scared about any enemy character.
Then you need to watch better stuff.
I don't think so.
Maybe you need to watch more horror stuff.
Oh, I was watching some horror anime last month or
Then there went point,
2 months ago.
obviously,
But I
because that's the
think,
point of horror.
but I think horror anime are kind of meh. They're
Yes.
not really scary.
It's a genre that works way better at manga.
Mm,
Because if you turn a page and there's suddenly a kind of jump scare.
true.
Plus, most horror animes look shit.
Yeah.
And are you really scared for about something that looks like ass? No.
Nope. Yeah.
Then could we go to the next topic or do you have anything else?
Yes, you can go on.
Okay. The next is impact and highlight moments or panels.
Hmm.
And I want to talk about when you have an anime when they are creating some highlight panels. You know what I mean? A great example is when Zoro was fighting against Killer in the end when he was using
Yes.
his post
Yes.
from
Yes.
manga.
Yes.
So I really enjoy when you have a really nice panel where you can see the impact of a punch, a slash, or an attack.
Mm,
Same goes for an anime, and you can see the impact and where the damage is highlighted, it's done.
yes.
Because in a fight, it's important that you can see that there's some gravity towards the punches and it's not a battle with pillows.
Mm,
Do you have
you
any
have to.
examples?
Um, in general, when you have a big one panel of impact from a fight.
Yes. The best is Sunken Rock, obviously. I mean, you can look at the panels that I sent you. You feel the impact from those punches. It looks really good.
Yeah, yeah, it looks cool as fuck. Yeah.
The same goes for anime when you have, for example, a ground exploding and the cubes are flying left to right.
Mm,
It's a good technique for highlighting the impact of a punch.
yes.
Then, do you have any other topic or are we finished?
I think we can finish now.
Yes. I have a final question.
Hmm.
Is the execution of a fight more important for you, like the technical stuff, animations, choreography, or is the fighting, not fighting, the writing part more important? The build up, the characters who are fighting, the stakes, the emotional damage. Do you have any?
Um,
Do you
definitely
prefer anything?
the second one. Like everything around it is more important than the fight.
Yes.
I mean,
Because if a fight is shallow noise, then it's just shallow noise.
hmm. But if you have some surroundings um like your life's at stake, you're fighting for your dead friend or something like this, and you have to win, then a fight is way better than if it's just yeah, let's fight,
Yes,
something like this.
because you are getting emotional as well,
Mm,
be it in a bad or negative way. You are clenching your fists when something bad is happening, or you are in shock when a character dies, or when your favorite character is going to lose or even die.
mm,
And then you are happy and jumping out for joy when your favorite wins.
yes.
That's why in a fight, actually, the writing and not the explosions are the important stuff.
Mm,
I think that's a good closing statement.
yes, it is.
Then, should I talk about what we will do next episode?
Yes, let us know.
In the next episode, that's why I also wanted to use the season thing. We are combining a few episodes that we've done before, our earlier episodes. We are making a guide on how to get into anime and manga. So we are talking about where you can start watching or reading anime and manga, where you can gather infos, and what are the genres for popular genres, and give some recommendations for those genres.
Like we did again before, right?
Not a guide specifically. We talked about genres, we talked about how to read and watch, but we never really combined those two.
Yeah, okay, true.
It's a combination about from previous episodes. Plus, we now have pictures and are giving direct recommendations. So it's a remake of kind of 3 or 4 old episodes.
Yes.
A new and improved version.
Hmm.
I think that's it for this episode.
Yes, it is.
And have a nice rest of your day.
Thank you for tuning in this episode.
Yes, next time we will see you in season 2 of the Anime Zuma and Manga Boomer.
It's Anime Zoomer and Manga Boomer.
Yes, I misspoke.
Yes.
Mistakes were made.
So join in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye.